The songs, videos, and discussion. Stay tuned.
I have a special guest with me today, Trevor. And Trevor has a podcast called
The Crash Course Metal Show.
There you go. And today we are going to do a track-by-track album battle of this one, Britny Fox debut, 1988, versus
Bite Down Hard.
I discovered them early on and kind of fell off after Dean left, and you probably were more of a fan of the Bite Down Hard, right?
Well, no, actually. I was raised, ever since I was born, my parents were fans of Britny Fox, Cinderella, Poison, all the Pennsylvania bands, you know. And so basically my family was a Dizzy era fan. So I grew up only knowing about the two Dizzy albums. And then in my early teenage years, I found the physical copy of Bite Down Hard at a old record store. And the Tommy Paris era started for me, and then my family way later on down the road. So
Okay, I have Girls' School
versus Six Guns Loaded. Plus years, I've been playing Six Guns Loaded way more because you got Zakk Wylde and Michael Kelly Smith going absolutely crazy on this track.
I'm going to go with Six Guns Loaded too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that. Yeah. Okay, let's go into track 2. Long Way to Love versus
Louder.
That was just incredible, that live version. I almost think it's better than the studio version. And yeah, very powerful, so I'm going with Long Way to Love.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And track 3, Kick and Fight versus
Liar.
Just kick and fight, that's right! Tell me to my face, oh, la la.
So this one here is this is actually a little closer than I thought it was gonna be, because I'm gonna go Kick and Fight, but I do love Liar. And now Michael Kelly's gonna hate me for saying this, but Michael Kelly kind of brings out a little bit of Tom Kiefer, like Heartbreak Station, in this song, because Michael Kelly's doing a lot of slide guitar, and obviously around the same time, a year prior, Cinderella comes out with Heartbreak Station. They do a whole lot of slide guitar as well in that. So I know Michael does not probably want me to do that comparison, but it's just great guitar work once again from Michael Kelly. We don't get a whole lot of slide guitar from Michael Kelly Smith in all of the Britny Fox catalog, which I think is a little bit of a missed opportunity, in my opinion. I would have loved to hear more slide from Michael Kelly, but we do get it here with Liar. But as far as these two tracks, I gotta go Kick and Fight. One of my favorites off the debut, anyway.
Yeah. As far as Liar, that song almost sounds like a country song in the beginning. Do you feel that way?
Yeah. It's like that slide guitar adds a little bit of that southern feel, you know.
The rhythm of it.
Yes, yeah, and it's like a mid-tempo, slower to mid-tempo song too. Yeah. It's not a ballad, but like it just slows the pace down. It's methodical, if you will. It builds up really nice, and I think Tommy and Tommy kind of plays that as well with his vocals. It's great build up to the song. It is a good song, but I tend to go towards Kick and Fight more times than not compared to Liar.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. Although it's kind of a coin toss because it's great for two different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we are on to Save from the debut, Save the Week.
Okay, and then we also have here on Bite Down Hard, the fourth track is Closer to Your Love. For me, everyone knows how I feel about Save the Week. I think it is the weakest Britny Fox song in probably the whole catalog. So this is an easy one for me. I'm going to go Closer to Your Love. And that's not any kind of slight to Closer to Your Love either, because like it is probably in the top half of Bite Down Hard. And it's just a great album though. So like there's no real weakness either in Bite Down Hard, but Closer to Love is still a standalone, really good track for this album. And to me, I never, even when I was a young kid, I like the lyrical content of Save the Week, but as a song itself, I feel like it just kind of doesn't really go anywhere. There's just nothing there. Kind of even the same thing as like When's a Change, or like kind of like songs like that. And but yeah, I'm gonna go here with Closer to Your Love.
I'm going to go with Closer to Your Love, and I'm opposite with Save the Week. I think it's a great song, but lyrically, I don't think it works.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think that if the lyrics were different, I think it would be a great power metal song.
Power ballad, yeah.
Power ballad, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I and that's the thing, because like Britny Fox does have it in them to write and create a very good ballad. As you can see, right. As we'll later talk about with Look My Way, and then also I think Dream On from Boys and Heat is a top 25 ballad in all of hair metal for me. So like they can certainly write a ballad and create a ballad. So and it's just a big drop off to me when you compare it to the rest of the ballads in their catalog.
Yes, and for anybody who's watching that's never heard the second album, listen to it again, even if you haven't heard it in years. It's really good. Well, I'm going to actually say one more thing about Save the Week is that when I listened to it at the time it came out, because that was the third single, that I thought the lyrics made me a little sad. Like it just seemed like, well, there was a lot of, USA for Africa during that time, and
yeah, the USAID or what was it? The USA Aid or whatever? For Africa.
Yep, and Feed the World and Do They Know It's Christmas? All that stuff.
Is it a little too sappy there, Nina? Is that kind of the word, maybe? Like too sappy of a song, like too.
No, it's children are starving and lonely, no place to go. It just.
Okay.
It just makes me feel sad, and I don't like feeling sad. But that's what I'm saying lyrically. If there were different words, I think I'd feel differently about it. Maybe. That's a
good point. Depressive type song, I guess. Maybe is the better word. Instead of sappy. No,
sappy is not the same right word. Yeah.
Right.
Fun in Texas. Fun in Texas
versus Over and Out.
Okay.
So this one here, I think I might be going with Fun in Texas. I do like the beginning, like guitar chords, if you will, or just like the guitar notes at the beginning, just kind of like sets it into that Texas Southern feel once again here. I had fun with Fun in Texas, for lack of better words, and I like it. Now, Over and Out is a good song within the context of the album, but I would put it on the bottom half of Bite Down Hard. Not that it's a bad song, but at the same time, we're kind of going back into a Liar tempo, the Liar song track. We speed back up with Closer to Your Love, and then we also kind of slow back down again, if you will, with Over and Out. So I think that kind of maybe plays a part into, especially when you compare it to Fun in Texas, which is just a fun song, and then Over and Out's kind of like, okay, we're here, methodical once again, and it's fine. But I'm going with Fun in Texas.
Okay, I am too. Back in this time, there was a lot of songs about Texas. I don't know what it was in the lyrics. I'm thinking Blackie Lawless.
Yes, Blind in Texas.
Blind in Texas,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
There seemed to be this text, and there was a Texas Jam. It was a big concert festival, and Texas just seemed to be, a thing back then. I don't know why. I'd never. I was only 13 during that time, but I always thought Texas was interesting for that reason. Rock Revolution. This
Versus track number 6 from Bite Down Hard, and that is Shot from My Gun. Now, this one here is, as much as I do like Rock Revolution, I like it, but it's easily going the Shot from My Gun. This is like the first song that I absolutely loved, other than Louder. Shot from My Gun, though, is like one of the first songs I absolutely loved from this album when I first heard it, and from the Tommy era. So, me and my dad have, like, somewhat of an inside joke or, like, love for this song. And it's kind of like our thing. I mean, the whole Britny Fox catalog is kind of like our thing, me and my dad's thing. But like specifically this one here, kind of we crack jokes with in a good way, and like just brings back memories and stuff as well. But you have Michael Kelly and the boys, heavy as hell. This is almost just as heavy as Louder, and edgy and in your face. Like it doesn't get much better than this on this album. So yes, easily going with Shot from My Gun for this choice.
Okay. I'm easily going with Rock Revolution because as much as the song isn't the greatest Britny Fox song, it has such a great build-up from the beginning. I mean, it's just, wow, just a colorful time.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yep, very good song. And obviously talking about the revolution of rock as well, which is always some bands don't do that well. Like there are a decent amount of songs within the hair metal genre that do kind of play off that, like how they talk about the decades through for heavy metal and stuff like that. And sometimes it doesn't work, but I will say this track here is one of the better ones that I've ever heard as far as that topic goes.
I never got to go to any of the live shows when they used to have all ages night. My parents were so strict, they wouldn't let me go to anything. But I'll tell you, I can imagine that was an opener for their set, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, especially with that, like, Johnny D's drum roll, like, at the beginning. Like, it's very, very huge sounding.
Yes.
Like a wall of drums.
Don't Hide.
Yep.
And there's another great starter.
That's right. That's right. And then
I'm sorry, versus
Black and White. So this one here, this is another tough one there as well. I do like Don't Hide, but I am going to be going with Black and White. I like the attitude that Tommy brings with his vocals here on this. I like the riff Mike has. The attitude here. And I think that's kind of like a common denominator with a lot of these songs I absolutely love. Because I am on the sleaze metal side of hair metal, the subgenre of hair metal, of sleaze metal. And I think this is like the closest that Britny Fox really gets to that. Like that attitude, the edginess and stuff like that. The heaviness, real heaviness. And I think, now, I don't know if this is necessarily true, but this is what it always sounded like to me. You know, obviously Dizzy leaves, and then the rest of the boys in Britny Fox are like, oh, okay, Dizzy's leaving? All right, well then F you. We're going to come out firing on all cylinders, heavy, telling everyone that we don't need you, Dizzy. So it kind of feels like they all have an edge, like a chip on their shoulder when they're recording this album with the heavy, and like you could see the examples with the writing, with the heaviness and stuff. So I think that's kind of where a lot of these songs I kind of gravitate to, you know, because of that reason. But that's a long way of saying Black and White is going to win this one here for me.
Okay. Not for me. I'm going to take Don't Hide.
Okay.
Great guitar solo, great beginning. Just another one of those rock revolution type songs I would categorize it with.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, and I will double down on that as far as like when you say great solo. I think I could honestly say that for pretty much every song that we talk about. You know what I mean?
So especially the second side of this debut is really strong.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Okay. So yeah. Our next track then.
All right. So we are on
track 8.
Yes, we're on track 8. Goodbye to Jane. Versus
against Look My Way, the ballad on Bite Down Hard.
She's a queen. Can't you see what I mean? She's a queen. See, she's a queen. And I get her. She's alright. Looking back on all the pain I put you through, I die 1,000 times to make it up to you. When you look my way, when you look my way, when you look my way.
So for me, as most people know, if they follow my channel, I am not a cover guy. I do not like when bands do covers, with very few exceptions. Now, yes, there are some good covers out there and stuff, but generally speaking, I don't want a great band to be giving me covers on their albums. I think you guys are way more talented than to have covers on any albums. If you're one of my favorite bands, I don't want to hear covers from you. You know what I mean? And so, not that Goodbye to Jane. Goodbye to Jane is a very good cover. I'm not taking anything away from the cover, but I'm just gonna go with Look My Way here because of that kind of rule and criteria for myself alone. And that's taking nothing away from Look My Way. This is probably the second best ballad that Britny Fox has in her catalog. Really good. Tommy has some emotion behind those vocals here in the song. Like we said before, good solo, emotional solo as well. I think this is a really good song that doesn't get enough credit from ballad fans in the hair metal genre as well. But yeah, I'm going with Look My Way here.
Okay. I'm going to not go that way.
I see what you did there.
See what I did there? Yeah. I'm going to say Goodbye to Jane because, well, maybe just personally, I don't mind when bands do covers, especially when they're not popular. Like a lot of people wouldn't know that song.
That's fair.
A lot of those Britny Fox covers are songs that are not like Satisfaction. Like how many people have covered that song?
Right.
I would not want to. I would not want to hear that. I wouldn't want to hear Jumpin' Jack Flash. I mean, I'm not trying to get on the Rolling Stones, but don't pick the most popular. Goodbye to Jane. I thought that was Britny Fox's song as a kid getting this album. I thought it was their song.
I will agree with that. Up until like my teenage years, I didn't even realize it was a cover. So yeah.
See, there you go. But
And I will say, I'm in agreement with that because like I always say the band Little Caesar in the hair metal genre, they covered Wish It Would Rain from the Temptations. Like when you do a cover, please make it your own. Like that's all I ask. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of covers, but when you do a cover, please make it your own and make it something different from the original. And Goodbye to Jane does fall into that category. That is why I do kind of enjoy it.
In America versus
Lonely Too Long. So for me, I do like In America, but I do rank it lower on that debut. So I am just out of kind of forfeit. Now, Lonely Too Long is good, but it is also probably on the second half of Bite Down Hard as well. But I tend to visit Lonely Too Long way more than In America. Although, like I said, I like the lyrical content of In America. That's great. But as a song, I just get to Lonely Too Long more than In America.
So. Right, I'm an America fan, but that was my favorite rock patriotic song.
There you go. Yeah. I'm not gonna complain with that.
Yeah. No, they're all good. They're both good.
last two, Hold On and Midnight Moses.
So yes, Midnight Moses from the Alex Harvey band, as most people would know, and like I said, this is another one of those criteria ones. Not that it's a bad cover at all. I would much prefer listening to Britny Fox's version than the original version. That's no question at all. But I think Hold On is a very good album closer. Probably one of my favorite album closers in all of hair metal. And I just think, and it's also one of my favorite songs on the debut of Britny Fox. So that is going to be getting a win right here for me as far as Hold On versus Midnight Moses.
I'm surprised. Hold On, that's my favorite on the album for many reasons. Lyrically, I don't know who wrote the lyrics to that, but it stuck with me all these years. It's just so good.
It's a heavy song, too. It's pretty heavy.
Yes, very heavy.
I want to spoil, or maybe hurt some people's feelings that are listening or watching. I even put the debut of Britny Fox in the third spot. So,
okay.
Yes. Easily Bite Down Hard for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. Britny Fox were close to where I grew up, so it was really exciting when this album came out because, they were like not neighbors, but I'd see them at the mall, and
Yeah,
that was fun. I remember my friend Michelle was really excited to see them, and my mom drove us around the parking lot. That's really embarrassing, and Michael was very nice, and I don't know if he remembers that, but anyway.
that's awesome. A pretty once again, easy choice. Because like I said, Britny Fox is a top 5 band of all time, top 3 probably of all time for me. So it's not saying that the debut is bad by any means. It's a great debut, but since ever finding out about the Tommy Paris era and Bite Down Hard when I was 14, 15 years old, I kind of brought the Tommy Paris era into my family because, like I said, before that, it was all the Dizzy era and absolutely awesome. Not taking anything away from that. But I'm going to go Bite Down Hard. That's the one that out of these two, that I visit the most is Bite Down Hard.
Okay. All right. I'm with this. Well, but I can't say. I really can't. I like them for different reasons.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
this is just a shout out to all the people that don't like hair metal. Neither do most of the musicians that did hair metal. They were all 70s rock fans. Really, they are.
Right.
So wherever this sound came from, it's definitely coming from 70s rock. I'm sure Michael sends you a lot of old, like nobody's ever heard songs.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, if anyone wants to know anything about a 70s band, I just go to Michael. Like,
Right.
hey man, I just found this band from the 70s. Do you know who they are? Yes, he does. And he probably has a physical copy of it as well.
Yeah, he knows everything. The Gods, Godz. Never heard of them in my life. But man, do they sound a lot like Kiss and Motley Crue. The whole Girls Goes Girls scene. I mean, they have got the motorcycles. Yeah. It's just wild. So definitely these bands are recycling what they've heard in the 70s for sure.
Yeah.
But love it either way, and it's sad that it ended. I think that if Britny Fox would have gotten there at 1986, too many unfortunate things happened to do so. I think they would have definitely been way over Poison.
Yeah, I would even argue if Dizzy didn't leave when he did, if they would have toured the U.S. and because for Boys in Heat, they only went out overseas to Europe with Alice Cooper for some shows and stuff like that for Boys in Heat. But if they would have actually toured in America, that Boys in Heat would have probably went gold, and that would have just pushed the debut as well over 1 million copies, probably, because I think it is like roughly around 800,000 copies as it stands right now, the debut. And
how did Black Eyed Susan do? Did they do that?
Not very good. Not very good at all. And that's being nice. So now, granted, there are some good songs on there and stuff, but as far as like marketing and like sales wise, it didn't do nothing.
I wonder how he felt after that. If he felt bad or wanted to get back together. No.
You would have to think that Dizzy, at least looking back now, like if he's thinking about it today, you would have to think he's missing an opportunity of what, because I always say this, Dizzy left a band that was certifying, a band that's certifying albums. Like I said, Boys in Heat would have went gold. I 100%, like I said, with Dream On, that as soon as that got released, they pretty much broke up then after that.
And the winner is, and I think they're both winners.
Yeah, you're not going to go wrong. Like you said, they are both good at what they're trying to do. Not that it sounds necessarily different, but if you want something a little bit heavier, a little bit more edgier, then Bite Down Hard your ticket.
Yeah, this is a good track by track because it shows the two levels of the band with with both singers. So, great. All right, well, I had a great time talking about Britny Fox and these albums.
Same here. Thank you for having me on.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite album or era for Britny Fox? Leave it in the comments.
Hey, thanks, and have a great week. Bye.